My name's Margot.
I'm 20 years old. I'm from Melbourne. I'm pretty into photography, filmmaking, art, design, anything creative or visual. And I'm transgender. So I have a pretty mixed cultural background. My dad's from a Romanian Jewish family. He was born in Israel and immigrated to Australia. And my mum is from Malaysia, from a mixed Chinese-Indian household who observed Catholicism. So very, very mixed traditions and lots of really great family gatherings and special days where we're all together. Gender identity is basically how you feel inside and self-identify. For some people that's really distinctly male and masculine, for other people it's quite strongly feminine, and for others it may be somewhere in between or even totally outside of that. And for me personally, it's quite strongly feminine and female. A question I get a lot is, so you're trans, is that because you like guys? I think a lot of people get gender and sexuality pretty mixed up or intertwined. They're two very different things. Sexuality is who you're attracted to and how you feel in relation to other people. Gender identity is how you personally feel. It's all internal. It's about your self-image. The first time I thought about being a girl, I was probably 10 or 11, and I was terrified. I'd only ever seen, trans people kind of in movies and in cartoons and on TV. So I'd never really met an actual trans person. I had no idea what it really meant to be transgender. I just had these really warped, really exaggerated kind of caricatures of trans people in my mind. I think the realization that I wasn't like other kids who were being told, oh, you're a boy, you're a girl, and that just fit for them, was very scary. Being told you're a guy by everyone you love, everyone you trust, everyone you look up to, and inside there being this tiny voice, it's like, oh, I don't think so. It's pretty confronting. There's always been kind of an enduring sense that, this is what I naturally want to do, this is what I naturally feel, and all I did for the better part of 2 decades was try to smother it, try to bury it, and try to forget that it existed. And, pushing myself away from that made me pretty unhappy. And I did it because I felt I had to. So I guess eventually I did come to terms with the fact that I was transgender, and to myself, I came out. But then there was this terrifying realization, oh, okay, this is who I am, this is great. Followed by, oh my God, how do I deal with this? I can't tell anyone, and there was suddenly this big secret. And looking back, it seems almost hilarious, but it really was terrifying and kind of mortifying that I now had to go through this long journey from telling myself and coming out to myself to then coming out to those around me and the world. I think a really big turning point for me was joining Minus 18 and making my first transgender friend who was about my age. Not only did I see that, oh, okay, this is totally different to all these horrible things I'd seen on TV. This person is lovely and no different to how they were just before coming out. They just have new name and new pronouns. But that the people around them would still love them and they could still live a full and happy life. For me, it was like, oh my God, I could maybe do this. I don't have to keep lying to everyone. And that's where things really started to turn around. So the first family member I came out to was my little sister, and it was just totally out of the blue for both of us, actually. I'd just been feeling really stressed and really negative, and I needed someone to talk to. And my sister totally by chance wandered into my room, and I just unloaded this bombshell of, I'm feeling confused, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, the other. I was saying things like, I don't think I'm a guy, I think I might want to seek, medical changes, and I might want to start dressing differently. And those were pretty big things to say. And she was so chilled out. It was definitely a bit of a shock. She didn't see it coming, but she was like, I mean, that's cool. As long as you're okay and if you ever need to talk. And That reaction to me was so perfect. It's exactly what I needed, and I couldn't be more grateful and feel more lucky that I have a sister who really knew how to handle it. She really was only concerned with making sure I was okay and hearing me out, and then asked a few follow-up questions, but that was really it. So a bit later on, pretty recently actually, I came out to one of my best mates from childhood. We'd grown up together. People would always say they're like brothers. And it was just at a birthday lunch. We stepped outside for a moment to just have a chat. And I pretty suddenly was like, I think I'm transgender. He was definitely a bit shocked at first and was like, oh, whoa, I've never experienced anything like this. What's going on? But I tried to be patient and walk him through, and he was really good. He kind of, again, like my sister, listened to everything I had to say. And at the end of it, gave me a hug, said, I love you no matter what. You're still my best mate. Cheers, bro. Oh, sis. And although he slipped up, it was so sweet and it meant so much to me that he tried, and it was really cute. He was really good. He just said, this is, great. I'm so happy for you. But I totally have a lot of catching up to do. Let's sit down for coffee and just chat about it. And him reaching out like that was really good because it gave me an opportunity to kind of tell him what I needed and sort of help get him to where I was. I've had 20 years to get my head around this, and he's had all of 5 minutes. So the transition to become female, it's different for everyone. It's quite deeply personal, and not everyone makes the same choices or needs to do the same things. It starts often with the social side of things, telling people new name, new pronouns. Then there's the more physical side of things, so maybe changing your hair and the way you dress, and the visual, transition is a part of it. But following on from there, there's the medical side of things. Some people choose to take hormones, some people get certain surgeries and procedures done, but those aren't for everyone. I think it's important to recognise that a trans person isn't any less the gender they identify as because they don't choose to get medical procedures. For me personally, I'm still figuring out what feels right for me and what I want to do. I think I'd like to pursue hormones maybe in the next few months, and once that's sort of begun, see how I'm feeling and go from there. I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking surgery is the point at which someone truly becomes a man or a woman. And I think it's really important to recognise that I am a woman right now. I am female, and my body certainly isn't what you'd expect with a typical female, but I am a girl, and this is my body. A lot of transgender people do change their name when they come out. People change their names to better reflect who they are and how they identify when they come out. It's really important to respect someone's new name if they come out to you. Trying to get the hang of it can take time, but it really is so affirming and makes a trans person feel really validated and accepted when people get their name right. To anyone watching this who might be questioning their gender or might be wondering or feeling that they may be trans, I want to tell you, you're not alone. There are hundreds and thousands of us out there, and all it takes is reaching out and trying to find them. So don't be afraid to do that, and don't be afraid to figure out how you feel and be yourself. No matter what, your gender is valid, and no one can define that or decide that for you.